Hi, my name is Janet King, and I'm 63 years old, and I've been coming to see Dr. Ilya for coming up on 2 years. And when I first came, I was 51 pounds heavier, so I lost 51 pounds, so that's a big deal. I had a lot of unhealthy intestinal things going on, a lot of abdominal pain, and so my guts weren't really healthy. So now I have a lot healthier guts. And that's amazing to be able to not have any abdominal pain. I just got to the point where I just thought, maybe I have cancer, maybe I have something. I'm always enduring intestinal and abdominal pain, and now I don't have that anymore. That's really, really wonderful not to have any pain, and now I feel like my intestines are really healthy. So probably the most revolutionary thing I've done is change my diet. Eat a lot more protein and vegetables, no sugar. I didn't think, on February I'll be coming for 2 years and on this diet for 2 years, and I haven't eaten any sugar in 2 years, and it's possible to not eat sugar. We've just been brainwashed to think that that's normal, to eat sugar, to eat grains, to eat fruit, and those things are good for you if you don't have the conditions that I have. So they weren't healthy for me to eat them, so I'm not eating them right now. So that's been made a big improvement on my health. So since I've been coming here, I've learned a lot of things about health. I learned that health is not just what you eat or how much sun you get. It's also the thoughts that you're having, the feelings that you have, your past traumas, even the traumas of generations before. And I sort of knew that, but I didn't really have it validated by somebody in in medicine, someone that's about health. I always kind of knew it made a difference, but I didn't always have any kind of science to back it up. And so now I know there is a lot of science to back it up, and what happened to us is being manifested in the different kind of health conditions that we have or don't have. So I'm really grateful to have this more expanded understanding about health and someone who knows about it. I mentioned before, if I tried to get all of these things treated like at Kaiser, they would have had me gone to a lot of different departments, and each department, like this actually happened to me when I was a teenager. I was going to a primary doctor and then an acne specialist, and then the acne specialist was giving me something that was counteractive to the stuff that the primary doctor was giving me, and they weren't talking to each other, and so I didn't know. I took some things like tetracycline that impacted my health for the rest of my life. If I knew that would be harming my intestinal health, I wouldn't have taken it. But anyway, so it's nice to come to one primary caregiver that understands all of these things: the emotions, the feelings, the nutrition, and all of those things are helping to make us well. We have our health. People that work in health field, they get training, very specialized training, and it's not very holistic. And we're a mind and a body and emotions and a spirit, and we're all of these things. And so all of these things are getting treated by Dr. Ilya. So really grateful for that. Another thing that helped me relax a little bit is that to find out that when you go through a healing state, you might not feel good. And just because you don't feel good doesn't mean that you're not getting well. Your body's expelling stuff, and your body is reformatting and to become and to get to a healthier state. And so part of getting well is you might not have there'll be periods of time where you don't feel well, and I guess these are called healing crises. And so it was nice to have that explained, so I don't think something's terribly wrong because I'm feeling this way or that way. I like this slower way of getting well. I don't like the Western approach where you take a really strong medication or a really invasive surgery, and then it creates more problems. So I kind of like this rhythm of getting well that's slow and sure, and and has less side effects. So I like getting well without producing more harm to my body and my being. So I really like that. So let's see, and some other things that were surprising to me was learning the role of relaxation and feeling good and feeling happy. I mean, one of the things that one day I came to see Dr. Ilya, and he told me what I need to do is take a vacation. And you know, I work a lot. I have a full-time job and have a couple side jobs too on the side. And so I thought, okay, that's kind of nice. I'll take a vacation when it's a good time to take it. And then when I came to see him the next month and I hadn't taken it, he was like, well, what happened? You really need to take a vacation. And I didn't think that was going to be such a big deal. And I took the vacation, and I reflect on that vacation now a lot. I don't know what it did. I can't really explain it in scientific terms, but that was really important. I've stabilized since that vacation. So there's something about self-care, you know, that's really good for your overall health. And it's underrated because we live in a culture that really works a lot of time, and if you're not working, you're not producing, you're not well. Yeah, so we some of what I think our health is bad because we live in a culture that doesn't really set up conditions to be healthy, and those conditions are having a balanced life of work and play and enjoyment. And so I've learned that those aren't just great things if you get a chance to do them, they're essential for your health. So I'm making more time for that, and it's hard for me because I don't like to leave things undone at work. Like right now I'm taking a 2-week vacation. I mean, 2 weeks off. Well, it's not necessarily a vacation, but it's like, it's easy for me to say, well, maybe I'll go in a few days because there's these deadlines, and I don't want them to become get delinquent, and then I have a harder time when I do come back. And now I'm reframing that, so I take care of myself better. It just took me a long time to understand that. And so I think coming to see Dr. Ilya has helped me understand that it's the relaxation, the vacation, the honoring myself, and self-care is really important part of, just as important as your nutrition, just as important as getting enough fresh air, just as important as getting enough sun. Those things are really important. And talking about sun, I did have some problems in the beginning with constipation, and I talked to Dr. Ilya about that, and he said I needed to get more sun. And I never ever would have associated getting more sun as a remedy for constipation. It just never occurred to me. So I'm really grateful to learn about that. I also had, I always sort of was suspicious of getting vaccinations because, you're injecting things into your body that are part of a disease to develop antibodies. I don't have the exact science to explain it, but I was always suspicious of that. And I got some validation from Dr. Ilya. Yeah, if you don't need those vaccinations, don't take them. And some of them you don't need to take as often as sometimes the Western medical profession will try to make you believe. So I'm unlearning some of the things I thought were good for us, and relearning some things that have been practiced for centuries and ancestors knew about. So let me think of some other things I wanted to really make sure I wanted to say. Oh yeah. Sometimes the back of my legs, my calves will ache a little bit, not a lot. And I found out that if I drink more water, that would make an improvement on that. So again, I didn't think that water and sun will improve things. Okay, and there was one other thing. I'm forgetting what I wanted to say. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention is I think one of the great gifts I got from Dr. Ilya, thank you Dr. Ilya, is that what is good for one person might not be good for somebody else. So this is, I think, one of the ways we get steered wrong, and by commercials and like everybody needs to take vitamin A. Everybody needs to take vitamin C. You got to take vitamin E. You got to take vitamin D. And that's not true. And sometimes those things can be toxic to you. So what I do like about Dr. Ilya is he'll find out what you need for your body. I even heard him say, you know, running miles a day is good for him, but it might not be good for somebody else. You have to take in consideration what your life is about, you know, how old you are, what health conditions you have, and something that's good for somebody else might not necessarily be good for you. And so I feel like that's probably the thing I learned the most about coming to Dr. Ilya, is getting a health plan that works for me. And it changes, you know, one visit will, you know, I might need a certain kind of herb, and then in the next visit, I don't need that herb anymore. And sometimes the Western medical field, they'll put you on a drug and you'll be on that drug for the rest of your life. And then you'll get side effects from those drugs. Sometimes those drugs will minimize your health instead of improve it. So I like the way that Dr. Ilya is monitoring what is going in my body as a form of an herb. And I might not need to take it all the time forever. I might need to take it here, and maybe a few months later, maybe I might need to repeat a similar herb that I took a couple months ago. But there's always you know, a current assessment before anything is prescribed. And the information that he's getting about what I need to do for my body is coming from me. So it's not coming from a textbook. It's not coming, I read this article and I think you have something that's similar to the article, so I'm going to prescribe what they found in this study. Everything is based on what I need in my body, and not overall, this is good for everybody and everybody should be doing this. There's few things that are actually true for that. Maybe a few things like sun and air and water, but everything else needs to be a personalized plan for you. So I would like to end my little talk and just say thank you, Dr. Ilya. I'm in better health because of you, so thank you.